the Force is with me, I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me. So be it, Jedi.
Welcome, everybody. Happy Star Wars Day. It is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you all. Welcome to the GNN Cantina Happy Hour. We're glad you're here. We're glad you're hanging out with us on this May the 4th. We hope you had a great Star Wars Day. We hope you did a lot of cool Star Wars stuff. It's not a holiday for everybody. Some of us had to work. But that's okay. I am your host, David. Welcome to the show. With me, as always, is Debbie. How are you, Debbie?
I'm good. Ready to talk some Star Wars stuff.
Star Wars stuff. We're just talking general Star Wars stuff. Also with us tonight, as always, is Cam. How are you, Cam?
I'm doing all right. Got my butt kicked at work today, so I'm glad I survived long enough to be here.
I have gotten my butt kicked at work the last 2 days, so I am worn. That's okay. We just got a whole lot of butt kicking going on. That's all right.
Yeah.
But it is May the 4th. It's a wonderful Star Wars holiday. But I want to ask a question to both of you. If you have the chance to celebrate May the 4th, let's say it's on a Saturday, you're not working. What are you doing to celebrate May the 4th? What are you doing to celebrate Star Wars Day?
Well, it depends. It depends on the time of the day. If it's a little bit later in the day, I might get a little slightly inebriated and put on a Star Wars movie. If not a movie, then I'll pop in one of my Blu-ray seasons of Rebels, which if any of you guys know, anybody watching, Rebels is one of my favorite Star Wars anything. Love that show to death. Or maybe I'll splurge and get myself a new Star Wars audiobook. I mean, you never know. Every year I try and do something a little bit different.
Debbie?
Yeah, if it falls on a Friday night or anywhere on the weekend, I will do some sort of Star Wars marathon. Depending on what kind of mood I'm in, would affect what movie I watch. Today, since I had to work, when I came home, I watched a little bit of the Visions 2 that came out series.
Oh, I haven't even touched that yet.
Yep, came out today.
I watched. I think I watched one episode of the
Tales of the Jedi.
Young Jedi Younglings or Adventures, the cartoon one.
Now the shorts came out May the 1st, right? Did they come out on Monday? When was that?
Those came out last week, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was last Friday.
They were only like 3 minutes. But yeah, these episodes are like, well, at least the first one I watched was 26 minutes, I believe.
Okay, so let me explain how this works, because Debbie messaged me I guess it was Friday. Or maybe it was Thursday. Maybe it was Thursday. Maybe it was Thursday last week. And she said, "Hey, the young Jedi ones are on there, but they're only like 3 minutes long, so we can watch them." Blah blah blah. And I was like, "Oh, these are shorts." So Debbie, let me explain. Kids' cartoons these days, especially Disney Plus shows, have the regular length episodes, but then they also make a bunch of things that are just shorts that are like little 3-minute blurbs. PJ Masks does it. Spidey and His Amazing Friends. Super Kitties, I think, does it. I haven't delved that. But anyway, all these little Disney Junior shows, they all have the regular length program and then the shorts that go with it. So whatever.
Oh boy, I really hope that you enjoyed as much as you enjoy Resistance.
The Groot short series, they were only 3 minutes long.
Right.
If even that. So that's what I figured that's what it was. But yeah, so anyways, that premiered today. I watched one episode. And then I wanted to watch Renovations, so
Is
because there was a new episode of that. But I liked, at least from the first episode, I liked that better than the Visions. I'm not a big fan of Visions. That's just me. I mean,
about this
different
season,
strokes for different folks.
this season of Visions has me interested because it's not all anime. It's not all Japanese anime. It's there's a lot of different there's a bigger variety of animation from across the world. And I'm curious about that. How do other people in the world watch cartoons, and what are their cartoon likes and dislikes?
Yeah, I think I watched
so
4 or 5 episodes of the Visions,
wow.
and they were all right.
I
Just
am
not my cup of tea.
so far behind. I watched Rogue One, and it's and the sequel to Rogue One, Rogue 2.
They also have, and I don't know if this is new
Cam got it.
because yeah.
What? That was funny. That was comic gold.
There's also a and I don't know if it's new or not. I don't recall ever seeing it, but it's Maggie Simpson. It says Rogue One.
Yeah,
something,
it's
something.
the Simpsons always put out a little short like that.
Is
That's
that new?
it's oh, I'm sure it is. Yeah,
Okay.
because the
Well,
last one they did was what was it, Force Awakens themed? Maybe, I don't know. There's 3 or 4 of them, and I think they're all on, and I think they've all come out on May the 4th. So
hmm. So, but I didn't get a chance to watch that one yet. But that
they have to make them revolve around Maggie, so they don't have to pay the voice actors. That's the reason. I've come to determine this.
I believe it.
Makes sense. I mean, Dan, we need you to come in for one line. Yeah, $20,000, please. Well, maybe we can make it work without you. Never mind.
Well, I mean, Deadpool 2 did it with Brad Pitt. He didn't even get a line.
Yeah.
I think we got him a coffee. Wasn't that the deal? Coffee.
I think he had like 3 frames of screen time.
Yeah, right. When
what
he
it
got
was.
electrocuted.
Yeah. That was great. That was
It
one of
was.
the best. One of the best cameos of all time. The best cameo of all time, though, was
Mark Hamill and Jay and Silent Bob.
No.
Oh, come on.
No, in Free Guy.
Oh, Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, yeah. Chris Evans in Free Guy.
Yeah,
What
that was
the shit?
unexpected.
It was beautiful. Best cameo ever.
That was. I love that movie. I've watched it several times, and
It's a good movie. It's a lot of fun.
it is.
I don't know. There's just something about the way that Chris Evans says the word shit that I love it. Well, like in Knives Out, spoiler alert for Knives Out, whenever Chris Evans tries to stab Ana de Armas's character, and it's just a prop knife, and the blade slides right into the handle. He's just he tests it a couple more times. He looks her in the eyes, and he's like, "Shit."
Yes, we love Chris Evans. Even though Chris, you need to be in a Star Wars so we can get you on the show. We can talk about it, and it'll be great. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. No, I did watch Rogue One. I started Book of Boba Fett again. Some of these ones on the past couple of shows where it's like I need to do this. I need to go back and revisit. I'm still revisiting Rebels, so I'm still watching that a little bit. And really, when I watch these, I can turn them on and stick them in my pocket, and it's like Cam with his audiobooks. I can go to work and I can sit and listen to the movie, and I'm fine listening to the movie while I'm working. So watching the movie, I know what they look like. I've seen them a bazillion times. So
I've only had one audiobook ever, and that was the I believe it was the Revenge of the Sith book, audio
Yeah,
book.
that's a good one.
That's a good one. Matthew Stover, right?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And I believe the audiobook is narrated by Jonathan Davis, and he's really, really good.
Another one. Speaking of audio, and you can find this on YouTube, and I strongly recommend it. Go listen to the. You can find the Star Wars radio dramas. It was Star Wars radio drama, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. All three of them radio dramas, and these are really neat because it tells the story of Star Wars with. I mean, it's like voice actors. It's like you're not. And then Luke turned his head and ignited his lightsaber. No, it's not like a book. It's like they're actually acting it. So it's.
Mhm.
But Mark Hamill does the voice of Luke. I think that was. Oh, Anthony Daniels did C-3PO, obviously, but I mean, it does a lot of the backstory too, like a lot of the stuff that was in the novels that wasn't in the movie, like the whole thing with Fixer and Biggs on Tatooine before everything. There was a whole. I mean, like the first 2 or 3 episodes was all before all of that happened. You saw Princess Leia being on a diplomatic mission, and while she was on a diplomatic mission, she caught the rebel telecast about the Death Star, which obviously that's not canon anymore, but it's still, I mean, it's really cool. It's nice to go back and look at those. We like those.
Yeah, I like. Well, they're not called radio dramas anymore. Now they're audio dramas. But well, no, I mean, but back then, that's what they were radio dramas. But the Star Wars has a couple. Well, at least 2 modern ones that I know of. I mean, that I've listened to. There's the Dr. Aphra radio drama or audio drama, based on the comics, and then there is the Dooku Jedi Lost or Jedi Fallen or something like that. It's all about Dooku's backstory, like his childhood and stuff like that. Really good stuff, and that they have a full cast narrating it.
Right.
Really good stuff.
In the radio dramas, I will drop this. John Lithgow was the voice of Yoda in there.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
And
I can't imagine that.
yeah, you can. I was just as surprised as you.
Well, see, I'm just now imagining Lord Farquaad, doing Yoda's voice.
Exactly.
Run as fast as you can. Catch me, you cannot.
Such fun. But anyway, yeah. And actually, I think David Allen Greer had a couple. He may have been. He was a voice in the first one, I think. Which, if you don't know who David Allen Greer is, you obviously didn't grow up in the '90s watching In Living Color, so I'll forgive you for that one. Some of us enjoyed that show. Oh. It was good.
Well, Debbie still has to listen to Mall Shadowhunter, so she can listen to an audiobook narrated by Sam Witwer.
Yes.
Sam Witwer.
Yes. Did y'all see that? I sent out a thing. There was a YouTube video with it was James Arnold Taylor and Sam Witwer, and they were reading a script. They were standing in front of a microphone. They were reading as Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Maul, and they were reading the scene from Princess Bride with the I have a piece of rope, I will toss it down to you. Well, that would help. Well, you may not want to because I'm waiting up here to kill you. So it was really, really, it was good. It was hilarious. Just I enjoy things like that. There was one that was Winnie the Pooh, the guy who voiced Winnie the Pooh, reading the Darth Vader lines. It was just hilarious. So it doesn't get any better than that. Also, they did another audio drama. I'll give you that one. There was a comic book called Crimson Empire, and basically it was about the Imperial Royal Guards and how they managed after the death of the emperor and what they did after the death of the emperor. And one of them was trying to set himself up as the new emperor, but the other ones were like, no, you're bad. The emperor's the emperor. No one else can replace him. Blah blah blah. And they ended up fighting each other. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Just because.
Is that recent, or
No,
was that
Lord,
more back
no,
when?
no.
Okay.
I had it on cassette tape. How about that?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Sorry, I'm
back to the old days.
back in the day. No, this is definitely not recent. No, this is a long time ago, and it's not canon. It's. But Crimson Empire, go check it out. It's great. It's good stuff. Yes, all 3 radio dramas are on YouTube. Go check them out. They're a lot of fun. Turn them on. That's one of those ones you can turn it on and go back to work at your computer or whatever you're doing for work. Just listen. So, what else? Star Wars. What else is going on? We had our shows released today. I was having some issues with my Legos. I was a little scared about that. They released a whole bunch of sets. 2 or 3 of them dealt with the new Mandalorian season. They've released a couple of I don't see one. They're dioramas basically, and they're really nice looking. They're on a black placard, and they released 2 of these: the Emperor's Throne Room and the speeder bike chase from Return of the obviously for Return of the Jedi's 40
Makes me feel very old.
I'm telling you.
Really? Doesn't make me feel old at all.
You're a young pup, that's why.
I first saw Return of the Jedi when I was, I think, 5 or 6 years old, and I've told you guys before, it's the first Star Wars film that I ever watched. And so I'm watching this thing and I'm like, I have no clue what's happening, but those teddy bears are awesome.
Was it on VHS? And
it was on VHS, and it was the special edition.
Oh, it was the special edition. Oh, yeah. Well, go back and watch the theatrical cuts, just because.
Nothing wrong with the special edition.
Yes, well, Hayden Christensen. Hayden Christensen is, and actually, he wasn't even in the special edition. He didn't show up. He didn't show up until the Blu-ray, the extra special edition.
Extra special edition. So many.
I'm telling you. And yeah, you know what? If you really want to talk special edition and George Lucas changing things, the first time that happened was 1979. Because in 1977, when Star Wars was released, it did not have the title A New Hope, because they didn't know if it was going to do anything. They didn't know if the movie was going to make any money. So they were like, well, we're not going to bother titling it just because. So you saw the Star Wars logo, and then it ran right into it as a period of civil war, blah, 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 blah. Then in 1979, they re-released it, but this time it said Episode 4, A New Hope. And the rest, as we know, is history.
And honestly, that just boggles my mind. Like 2 years after the release of your first film, you re-release it calling it Episode 4. So people who hadn't seen it previously are looking at it now like, wait a minute, where the hell are episodes 1 through 3?
Exactly.
And the thing is, I don't know about other places in the States, but the first Star Wars was so popular that it was in theaters for a very long time. Not like they are today, where they might be out for a few months and then they go to, like Disney Plus or HBO, or come out on, well, back then it would be coming out on tape. Yeah. I mean, I swear, I used to go to the regular theater, which back then was probably $1 or $2. And then right where I lived, right across the street, was the 99-cent movie theater. So as soon as it was done running there,
Jumped across
then,
the street.
yeah, on weekends, after I got my allowance, I'd go to the 99 cent. But it was in regular theaters for well over a year, at least
It
around
was
here.
in 1977 when it released here in Denton, where I live. There was a theater that, or there is a. My wife's yelling. The hockey game must be on. So anyway, the theater was on the square. But it was a one screen theater, and Star Wars came to that theater, and there was I can't remember the movie that was coming soon or coming after Star Wars. They always had here's the movie we're playing, here's the one that's coming after, right? So that poster, they changed that poster like 3 or 4 times in the run of Star Wars. Star Wars released in May of 77. I think the next movie that played on that theater was Superman, 1978, Christopher Reeve. So yeah, it and it wasn't like, okay, well, we'll go on a Saturday when nobody's there. No, there was always somebody there.
Always a line.
Always a line. So
Yeah, nowadays the only theaters that still have lines are the ones that are whenever a new Marvel movie comes out.
And even then, you don't even see the lines anymore because you pre-buy your tickets online. You have reserved seating, so it's not like, oh, I got to show up like an hour before the movie so that I can get the good seats. No, I reserved my seats like 3 months ago, and I'm gonna sit at this section, and I know exactly where I can show up 5 minutes before the movie starts, and that's enough to get me popcorn and a drink and walk in there.
Yeah,
So,
I live in a small town. We don't have reserved seating. We don't have the reclining seats either. So
it's not as fun as it used to be.
And I go Saturday mornings when there's nobody there.
Speaking, I did buy my tickets for Guardians. We are going Saturday morning at 9:30 in the morning, and then we will go to Free Comic Book Day. And
I'm gonna go see Guardians. I mean, maybe that'll be the movie that reignites my interest in the MCU, because as of right now, it's pretty stagnant.
They should have stopped at Phase 3, but what do I know? They did have. I will say this: my son and I, we've been doing this since. What year did Age of Ultron come out?
2014, I think.
Was it 14? Okay, that makes. Yeah, that'd be about right. So in 2014, I started taking Luke, and we would go to on the Saturday. The first Saturday in May is Free Comic Book Day. It also coincides with May the 4th, and that also happens to be the weekend that the new Marvel movie, the latest Marvel offering drops. So we've made a not a habit. What is a tradition of it? We go to the comic book store. We get our free comic books. We'll go to the Lego store and buy our Star Wars Legos in honor of May the 4th. Then we'll go and watch whatever Marvel movie is out. Actually, you know what? I think it was Amazing Spider-Man 2 was the first one. So this would have been even... Was that before the MCU? Maybe?
I don't remember.
I'm going to have to look now. But anyway, so it's our Geek Out weekend. We have our Geek Out weekend. This year, because that Lego has disappointed me the last couple of years, but basically what it is the big sets that everybody wants, the scalpers have moved in and bought them all. They bought everything, and now they're selling it for stupid prices online, and Lego is like, well, we're getting more out there. And it's like, yeah, but I need more this week so I can get the gift with purchase, which is what I'm really after. And this year we're not going to the Lego store because I was like, I'm not even going to dink with it anymore. I'm buying online. I'll just buy from Lego.com and I'll get all my free stuff, and it'll be here like day after tomorrow. But whatever, it is what it is. We have to miss the Lego store this year, but this is also John, I see you. Live long and suck it, John. Captain Kirk was a tool.
No,
Mr. Spock was a sissy.
no, do not be messing with my Star Trek stuff now.
Jean-Luc Picard, never heard of her.
Captain Janeway in 709. Oh yeah.
Deep Space Nine. What's deep about it?
Anyway,
I've never assembled a Lego Star Wars set before.
oh really?
I never got in on Legos. I've had them before, but they were just like a leisurely pastime for me as a kid to just put stuff together.
No, that's
this block goes to this block.
In fact, for me, it's a release. It's a stress release, and that's one of the big things that I do is I'll even if there's nothing new out, I'll take one of these sets and I'll take it and I'll bring it over to my table and I'll break it completely down and watch a Star Wars movie and rebuild it.
Okay.
Just the way it was, and then put it back on the shelf right where it was. Just for the building and the watching, the movie watching experience. So,
you know what I like? I like those I like those models that come like it's like hundreds of pieces and they come in those like plastic frames that you have to pop out.
mm-hmm.
The first time that I went to Tampa Bay Comic-Con, I bought a Kylo Ren model. And I'm talking, this thing had like 500 pieces in it. It took me like 8 hours to build, and you build it basically from the inside out.
Right.
And man, that thing was awesome. And then I moved and it broke and I couldn't put it back together again.
Oh. I guess that's mic drop.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it.
What's wrong with Ray Skywalker? Just
Yeah.
saying.
If we have Din Grogu, why can't we have Ray Skywalker?
Yeah. John probably hadn't even watched the season finale of The Mandalorian, so he probably didn't even know.
Oh no! Oh, spoiler alert!
Oh! Even though we're not talking about anything, we're still talking spoilers. That's okay. We'll see John at Fan Expo this year. That'll be fun. Always have a good time with John. So, well, anyway, Lego, like I said, was a fiasco. The sets that I really, really wanted were sold out. So I had to go with my backup sets, which, I mean, I'll get the other ones. It's just not going to be on the May the 4th weekend. So
all they had left was Boba Fett's starship.
You know what? A funny story about that. I actually went to the Lego store on Tuesday. Everything released on Monday the 1st. And the promotion started on Monday the 1st. It runs through the 7th. And I went to the Lego store, and the Lego store was full except for this one section that was just completely bare, nothing in it. And that was, of course, the Star Wars section, Star Wars Legos. I was like, really? And I was one of the yes, prisoners. No, it's Prisoners with Jobs. Prisoners with Jobs one, yes, and Prisoners with Jobs Leia. But no, I asked one of the employees, the store clerks, and I'm like, nothing Star Wars, and she said, you know what, that promotion started on Monday. By Monday lunchtime, the Star Wars section was cleaned out.
Wow.
Like, you opened at 10. Lunchtime is noon in 2 hours? Really? Oh, my gosh.
A lot of people take the day off. And
yeah, they did. They did. And a lot of them were... So help me, I almost got in a fight once. In fact, it was last year on May the 4th weekend, our comic book weekend. And the guys in front of us were talking, and they're just, they're talking Lego, and I'm just listening in. And they were talking about what they were going to buy. well, I'm going to buy 4 of this and 7 of that and 5 of this and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, holy smokes, what are you going to do with all of that? And he goes, yeah, because I'll stick them in my closet. And then when they retire, I'll just sell all of them. I'm not even going to build them. I'm like, really? You're a jerk. You are a jerk. I can't let those of us that want this stuff go buy it now, and then you come back and buy later. Oh, I was so mad. Of course,
yeah. I mean, that's the problem with anything collectible. If you want something, you have to get on it ASAP. Otherwise, when it's gone, and you're not going to find it for anything less than triple its price on frickin' eBay.
And I can't complain too much because my wife and I used to do that. That we would do that before we had kids. This was before children were in the pictures. We would go to Toys R Us, and we knew what days Toys R Us got deliveries on. So this was all like Thanksgiving time frame, right before Christmas time frame. So we would show up. The one Christmas I'm thinking of was the re-release of the Tickle Me Elmo, and that was huge. That was a big thing. Was that special edition re-release 10th anniversary Tickle Me Elmo? We ended up with 30 of those. Two of them had a misprint label, so they were worth more. But we also ended up with like 15 Wiis, because that was a hot item that year, and even like 5 or 6 PlayStation 3s. Never opened them. We just bought them. And then when it got closer to Christmas time, it's like, sell. Mommy and daddy can't find a Wii. We got one. And that's how we made our Christmas money. That's how we made money for us to buy Christmas presents. So I guess I can't complain, but whatever.
Oh well, got to make that Christmas money somehow.
Yeah, I need a happy Christmas too. If your kid's gonna have a Christmas, I want one.
I mean, I'm at the point where I'm about to start stripping, so I mean, got to do what you got to do.
Or maybe an OnlyFans page.
Ooh.
Put your feet up there.
Yeah, watch me do all kinds of sexy Star Wars cosplays on my OnlyFans page.
Nice.
Why not? I'm sure there's a niche for that.
I'm telling you.
I'm building my calendar for next year.
Darth Vader with the ass missing,
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh.
Only cams.
Only
that's
cams. Right. Yep. Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
Oh my.
No, but it's funny, there's a picture of me floating around on the internet somewhere, like in the deep recesses of the internet, of me at 17 years old wearing a bikini. And
Debbie, get online right now and go find it. It's there. Find it.
It's only a little Photoshop job to replace the bikini with Slave Leia's bikini.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
What else? Did we watch any movies this week?
Over the past 2 weeks, I have been, and I'm finished now, but I went through and rewatched all the original trilogy and the prequels and the sequels. I didn't watch Rogue One or Solo yet, which will be my weekend chore. Well, not chore, because I love those movies. But I've also got to go.
You love doing it.
But I've also got to go see Guardians Saturday morning. So
yeah, whenever I put on Solo, I get to that point where what's her name, Madame Proxima says, "And you just made a clicking sound with your mouth." And then at that point, I'm just like, okay, I can turn off the movie. I'm good now.
I'm happy.
That's a rock, and you just made a clicking sound with your mouth.
I
That's
enjoyed that
great,
movie.
though.
I thought it was a fun movie.
It is a fun movie. I like Ron Howard's humor. You know, I recently, I mean, a few months ago, I watched Ron Howard's Grinch with Jim Carrey, and I'm seeing kind of a lot of the same, you know, the same beats between the two films, and I'm like, okay, Ron Howard, I like this guy. He's funny.
You know what? He directed Willow too.
Yes, he did.
If you haven't seen Willow, go watch Willow because Ron Howard's great.
Yeah, considering he came in very late to the game in regards to the movie Solo, I thought he did a great job. I really enjoy that movie. I have very little qualms about it. I like a good backstory, and we got
Yeah.
backstory with it. There's some things like Proxima. I don't know. I don't know. But
That's the thing though, is there's not a perfect movie. There
Yeah.
never will be. There's always going to be something wrong with it that somebody's not going to like. So,
yeah, but I enjoy it, and I hate the fact that it got so much hate and wasn't given a chance to be criticized on its own merits. It was criticized because of what came before.
well, and the fact that The Last Jedi had just come out literally 5 months before.
Yeah.
Last Jedi in December of 17, and then Solo came out in May of 18.
Well, not to mention Solo had to compete with Infinity War.
Yeah.
So they came out within the same week, I think.
No, Solo came out toward the end of May, and
I think
Infinity
it came out
War
on
came out at the
25th
beginning.
or around that weekend.
Yeah, it came out closer to the anniversary of the release anniversary of the original trilogy. And then Infinity War came out at the first. Infinity War, I know, came out at the first part of May because that was our geeky weekend movie. We went to go see Infinity War.
Yeah, I don't. Whoever the powers were, I mean, they were both owned by Disney at that time, so it's like, who the hell?
They're making their money regardless.
Yeah, but who the hell was doing the planning? It's like, did you not think?
Well, here's what gets me, because The Last Jedi really had a good opportunity, because they could have released The Last Jedi May of 2017. You're only 5 months past Rogue One. And if you would have released in May of 2017, I think, if I recall correctly, the 25th fell on a Friday. So that you could have released The Last Jedi on the 40th anniversary of both A New Hope and Return of the Jedi.
I think they should have stuck with, in regards to the new movies, I think especially Solo, they should have stuck with the December releases.
Yeah.
Even though I hate going to the movie theaters with 20 coats on and whatnot, but yeah, if they would have, of course, they released The Last Jedi in December. They should have just waited till the next December. I don't know if they were trying to do like Marvel does, where they release 3 or 4 movies in 1 year. I don't know if they thought they could get away with that, but yeah, they should have just stuck with the December releases.
And honestly, I think it was a little overkill releasing one a year. I think that was a bit much.
I just don't want them to go the Marvel route where they release, 3 movies and 4 shows this year, and 2 movies and 6 shows the next year. I mean, because there is such thing as too much too fast, and that's a big reason why I've been kind of turned off by the MCU lately, because it's just like, if I miss one thing, then I might as well just miss all the rest of it, because I'm not going to know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I was happy with, and I only say this because the older I get, the more I'm afraid that I'm going to miss out on movies, because you never know when you're going to keel over. But
Debbie, you will never miss out on movies, because I mean, you were around when Gone with the Wind was released, weren't you?
Oh, come on.
Oh, I am
now.
not that old. I'm
Come
old, but not that
on.
old. Cam.
That's okay. You can make a youngster joke at some point in this stream.
But yeah, when I hear some of these movie releases that they plan here in the future, they're like, 2005 or 2025, or whatever later, and I'm just like, what the hell's going on with Cam? Why are you pixelated?
I don't know.
Not on my end. It's
Oh, really?
I was gonna say I look gorgeous.
Yeah, on mine you have a bald head and your hair's like, you are all pixelated, dude. On my end, Dave looks
you look
fine.
fine on my side. So,
Hey Debbie, how many fingers am I holding up?
oh snap!
Anyways, yeah. So when I hear 2025, 2000, whenever they have these, and I'm like, God dang, that's like 2-3 years down the road. Am I going to be around long enough to?
But you know what though? You know what's funny about like a lot of that stuff, like this Guardians of the Galaxy movie that's coming out. When they announced it, I was like, "Oh my god, 2023? That is so far away. That is a long time." And now all of a sudden it's like, now we're here. It was like, wow, that kind of went by fast. Because it'll get to the point where it's like, okay, I'll forget about them unless we're on MCU Mondays and we're talking about what's coming up, or like Blade right now. Blade could happen tomorrow, and I'd be just like all kinds of excited and shocked because I've forgotten about it. It's in the back of my mind, and I don't care until it gets a little bit closer, and then I'll start caring. But again, as far as Phase 4 goes, I'm just like,
Well, see, whenever I'm getting excited for, new movies or new shows, I don't read any of the articles that go around about, oh, this character is set to cameo, or this actor was cast in this, or it's going to be directed by this person, or they brought in this writer. I don't care about any of that, and it represents kind of a big problem with these big franchise. The consuming of these big franchises these days, because it's all hype. Yeah, well, we're gonna get you hyped up for this movie because because we're gonna tell you to expect this and expect this and expect this, and then, oh, God forbid you don't get that one little itty bitty thing that we maybe kind of promised that you might get, because then now suddenly the whole movie is terrible.
yeah.
So it's
like, well,
I hate it.
Just recently, in fact, when they announced Bill Murray was going to be in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, but they also announced around the same time that MODOK was going to be in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and so of course that evolved into, oh, Bill Murray's going to be MODOK. This is going to be great. Well,
and honestly, I would have loved that.
I mean, that was a legit rumor. Was like, how are they going to pull off Bill Murray as MODOK? That's is he just going to voice him and it'll be a motion capture kind of thing, or how's that all going to work? So
I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, Space Jam was peak Bill Murray. I mean, he had some of the best lines in a rated G movie that I've ever heard. When they're out there playing golf. What?
You ever watch
Zombieland?
Stripes or?
Yeah, I watched Zombieland.
Stripes was good.
I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. Oh, Caddyshack. I mean,
yes,
that
Caddyshack.
is classic Bill Murray. That's peak Bill Murray.
To me, Caddyshack was overrated.
Oh no.
I mean, but Bill Murray was good in Caddyshack, but that was Rodney Dangerfield's movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good news, everybody! We're all getting laid.
So, yeah.
And we have gone off the rails, folks.
We have. Ghostbusters is always going to be the best. Sorry.
Oh, you mean that one awesome movie with Melissa McCarthy? Oh, that was
No.
great, wasn't it?
No,
I didn't even bother to watch
No.
that at the theater or at home. I
You know
refused
what?
to watch
You
it.
know what's funny about that movie? I got it for. It was one of my apps that my digitals are all on, and they say, "Hey, here, have a free movie." And they gave me, it was like Ice Age: The Meltdown or something like that. And then I was like, "Oh, you just bought another movie. Here, have this one for free too." And it was Ghostbusters. And I was like, "Okay,
Can I return this free movie?
you know what? It's free, so I don't feel bad watching it." And I watched it, and I was like, "I want my money back." And I know it was free, but you should be paying
I
me
want
to
my
watch
time
this.
back.
Yeah, you owe me.
Yeah, I mean the trailers didn't even look good. There was no interest from me from the get-go because I was like, why?
It's
And
got Chris
Hollywood
Hemsworth
does
in
this
it.
a lot, these reboots of old, well, not even old by my standards, but recent movies, 15, 20 years old, and they're rebooting them or remaking them is what they're doing. And it's just like they are just not the same. Quit doing it.
No, I mean, nowadays, one of the only film studios that hasn't done a reboot or remake or something yet is Studio A24. I don't know if you guys have heard of them, but they did Everything Everywhere All at Once. They did The Green Knight, Hereditary, Pearl, X. Lots of
One of those.
and they're definitely known for like like really artsy kind of movies. I mean, the kind of stuff that you'd expect me to like.
Indie movies.
And but every other studio is just like, okay, so this original movie that we didn't do so great at the box office. So let's go ahead and think of what other property we can milk. It's
forget the
tiresome.
Forget the milking. It's even if you have a property that does well. I mean, The Matrix. I was talking with somebody about this the other day. The first Matrix movie was great. It was amazing. It was so well done. I love that movie. Then they said, "Oh, look, cash cow. Let's make 3 more of them." And it was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, why? Why? You don't need to make."
Well, the thing is, if you're
They
gonna
remade Teen Wolf, for crying out loud. But it
if
was
you're
a
gonna
serious
remake
drama.
if you're gonna remake a movie, take a movie that initially flopped at the theaters, 10, 15 years ago, that should have been great, but was written badly or whatever. Redo that movie and do it right.
Yeah.
The way
Kroll.
it should have been done the first time.
Kroll. Well, Kroll was good anyways. I liked Kroll anyways. So, but I tell you one, if you get the chance, watch the newer version of Psycho with Vince Vaughn and Anne Heche and Viggo Aragorn, Viggo Aragorn, and William H. Macy, because it is when you say remake, and this is what I like, this is what I would like to see all remakes do. It was a shot for shot remake from Alfred Hitchcock's movie. The only difference was that it had different actors, but like all the lines were the same, and it was just that's something. I mean, at that point, it's not a remake; it's an homage to the original movie.
But so was it good?
Oh, it was great. Loved it. It was awesome.
See, I don't know. I just leave if it was a great movie, don't touch it.
No,
Like
no,
there's been talks of redoing Princess Bride, and I'm like, oh hell no.
oh no,
Leave that movie.
No.
Yes.
No.
But you
Yes.
know what though? It doesn't surprise me because I know these are like massive rumors. We're talking rumors right now. We're not talking anything confirmed, but they've been talking about or the rumor is that they've been talking about rebooting Back to the Future.
Yeah,
like-
yeah, I've heard that.
Why?
It's like,
What?
no.
Those movies are great the way they are, and they hold up. It's not like just it's
Yeah.
not like they're okay. Well, they're dated, and we got to get rid of them. Even though in 2015, everybody apparently was still using fax machines. But hey,
I mean,
and every room in the house had a fax machine.
Debbie and I work in clinics. We use fax machines.
I hate them.
PC
At least
load
the one
letter.
I've
What does that even mean?
What is that? You kids don't know what that is.
It's a facsimile machine.
I think a movie that deserves to be remade and done justice for is Aragon.
Yeah.
Like do the Inheritance series and do it right.
Yeah. And they're doing that with I have never been a big fan. I know you are, Cam, and so I'll throw you this bone here because with Dune, how many times have they made Dune a movie? It's 3.
Not many actually. So there was the original 1984, I think, Doom, directed by David Lynch.
Right.
And then there was the Children of Dune miniseries that starred James McAvoy, which is like the third book onward. And then we have now Denis Villeneuve's remake of it.
And it's done in 2 parts because I'm going to assume that because it's 2 parts is because that book is so dadgum thick.
Yes,
a lot of content there.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Dune is notoriously difficult to translate to film, not just because of all the lore and how dense the narrative and everything is. It's because if you go and you read Dune, it's all freaking exposition. For the love of God, it's all exposition and like internal monologue. Characters saying things in their head. You got a lot of that in the David Lynch version, and that's why I'm so glad that Denis Villeneuve has really knocked it out of the park with his, rendition of Dune, because it's just so much more streamlined as far as narrative flow.
I have yet to get through that first.
That's okay.
Same here. I tried to watch it like when it first came out, and I was just like an hour in, and I'm like, I am bored.
Yeah, I just kept
very, very bored.
dozing off. I'm like, oh my God.
Blasphemers.
No, I'm sorry. I tried to like it.
You do not doubt Denis Villeneuve.
I tried with that one, and I tried with Wonder Woman 1984, and I was just
yeah, that one wasn't all that great.
Oh, I had to try twice. The first time around, I fell asleep, and then I fell asleep the second time around, and then I finally got through it the third time around, and wished I had fallen asleep again. I really wanted to like that movie, and it was just raw.
Why does nobody talk about how weird it is that Wonder Woman is basically having a relationship with this guy who she thinks looks like her guy, but isn't really her guy? It's still that guy's body, but his image projected into her mind. Like, that's just weird.
I have no words. The only good thing about that movie was Space Daddy, Pedro Pascal. Oh. That is the only reason I would ever watch that movie again.
Yeah, speaking of
probably fast forward to his parts.
Speaking of Pedro Pascal, I recently watched The Last of Us.
I have not started that one yet, and I need to.
Fantastic show, and not just because we love Pedro Pascal, but it is so well written and well acted. Holy crap! The girl that got to play Ellie, she's got a bright career ahead of her. She is a damn good actor.
Okay. Well, now I gotta go watch it, I guess.
Oh,
put that on your list.
It's on my list of things.
You
know what? Game of Thrones. Haven't watched that one yet either.
I haven't either.
Watch House of Dragons.
No, I don't. I haven't watched Game of Thrones. Why would I watch House of Dragons?
Because House of Dragons is a prequel. Although
good Lord.
And then I think they're coming out with another I know I texted my daughter the info, and that was a while back. But
Stephanie, if you're still watching, what are they coming out with another one?
I think they're coming out. They're coming out with another one.
Well, Dave, you can start that after you finish rewatching Resistance.
Yeah, no.
That is one Star Wars project I will never, ever, ever watch again.
What about the holiday special?
Oh, that too.
Oh, that too.
To be honest, I would watch the holiday special over Resistance because it's a less time consuming commitment.
Well, that's true.
I
But
don't
it's
know. I don't
Still
know. Some of the, I mean, it's like 2 hours long, and that's a long.
Is
2
it 2 hours long? I thought it was
I
like an
think
hour.
And maybe an hour 45, maybe an hour 30, something like that.
I
It's
didn't even think it was
long.
that long because back then movies weren't as
It
long.
was a
as they are.
TV show,
And that-
though. That's the thing.
I was going to say it might have operated a 2-hour time slot on air because
Yeah, with
it's 45
commercials.
minutes of commercials.
Hang on, I'm about to look it up. We'll figure this out.
What is
Just-
the run time?
We need a runtime for. Let's see here. Star Wars Holiday Special full. 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 28 seconds.
Ugh.
1 hour. That's a long 1 hour and 37 minutes. It really is.
Well, yeah, you don't like seeing Mark Hamill with his obvious spray tan?
Mark Hamill with his obvious spray tan. B. Arthur singing.
Uh,
Hologram porn and the old Grandpa Wookiee getting
there
off
was so
to
much
it.
wrong with that.
And the first half of the movie is just Wookiees yelling at each other. No translations or anything. You're just supposed to know what they're saying, and it's just
Yeah.
there. I just quoted about half the movie.
But Dave, that's what makes the movie so great. The director leaves it to the audience's interpretation.
I hate
Nope. Nope. But we watch it every year.
I'm sorry.
No, it's tradition. We have to.
I'm one of those normal households that watches A Christmas Story once a year.
I think Biscardi. I think that's without commercials. I don't think the commercials. I was looking at the YouTube. It's on YouTube, so I was looking at the runtime on YouTube, and I believe that's without commercials. So yeah, hour 37 without commercials. So it's probably was a 2 hour, 2 hour window. One time, 1978. And it never aired again.
I don't know what they were thinking.
And
outside of money grab.
Hey,
That's what it
cash
was all
cow.
about. Money grab. Oh, we're so popular. Let's do something about. Well, it wasn't Christmas; it was Life Day. But yeah.
Oh,
let's
no.
do something about the holidays.
Well, we don't have the budget to make an all-new movie, so let's use all these shots from A New Hope.
I mean, even as a kid watching that, I was like, "What the hell am I watching? And why is it awful?"
This is Star Wars. It's not supposed to be bad. You're hurting me.
Even with Harrison Ford in it, it was like, "What? Why? Why would you do that to him?"
See, I'm so glad because how you felt at that time was how I felt watching Artemis Fowl.
No.
Oh, yeah.
It's like every 15 or 20 seconds, I was like, "Oh no! Oh,
You're ruining
God.
this."
No,
I never even read the books, and I thought when I watched that movie, I was like, "What?
I never.
On."
And honestly, I never read the books either. And
There's
Luke
a
and
movie that could be redone and redone correctly.
Luke and I sat down and watched it once, and I was just like, "This is really dumb." Why? And honestly, and this was before your little rant thing, and I was like, why is this book so popular? This is dumb. This is stupid.
and like it has nothing. Well, I was gonna say it has nothing to do with the books. I mean, it has some similarities as far as the story, like couple of similarities here and there, but like you will never understand what the book is about if you just watch the movie.
It's like, okay, we sat down and watched the new Peter Pan and Wendy on Disney Plus, just released, the live action Peter Pan. And
I've heard things about that.
I sat and watched that, and I was like, well, they got the names right. That's about it. It was like that with that movie Russell Crowe did, that Noah movie. I was like, well, they got the names right at least.
Artemis Fowl didn't even get the names right. They didn't get the names right, and like they didn't get the relationships between the characters right. Like, you know, Artemis Fowl's butler and his in the movie, she's his niece, but in the book, she's his sister. So like, why? What? I have to stop myself. I'm going to go on a rant.
You're going to go rant again.
Like, that is my least favorite movie of all time. That is my most hated.
If you want to see Cam go on a truly amazing rant,
and it is
go watch the Artemis Fowl video. It's on the YouTube page. Go watch it. It's hilarious.
It's under Cam in Focus.
That's right.
If you listen to anything.
If you listen to anything this week, listen to Cam and Focus's rant on Artemis Fowl.
You will love it.
Make a drinking game out of how many times I censor myself.
So, all right. Well, we have completely gone off the rails. Star Wars Day is almost over.
Yeah, tomorrow's Revenge of the 5th. So.
No, you know what? I've kind of adopted, you know, you've got the Revenge of the 5th, and then I forget, there's 6th and 7th. All I remember was May 8th is I Am the Senate.
Oh, there's several of them.
There's a bunch of them now. But I'm gonna go with and Dave Gramillion, our chief brouhaha, put a picture out, and it's all over the place too, where all of those are scratched out. You've got the Mandalorian standing there. This is the May.
Oh, God.
May. That way it covers the whole month. It's a Star Wars month. The 25th, anyway. The 25th and 21st are what you call them? Anniversaries, anyways, for Empire and A New Hope and Jedi. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 are all in May as well. So, I mean, May is a good month to be a Star Wars fan. So I was walking around telling everybody at work, Happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. So
yes, I got several texts today saying May the 4th be with you. And even my coworkers, even though they're not geeky, I didn't say anything to them because I figured they're not going to know what I'm talking about. But they both, I think it was like mid-morning. The girl who sits next to me, she goes, "Oh, happy May the 4th, happy Star Wars Day," and I'm like, "Oh my God, you know what that is?"
Star Wars.
I was impressed.
Star Wars is a huge, and I've said this before, huge pop culture phenomenon that even people that know nothing about it still know something about it, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So they are aware of it. They know that it exists. So, all right, Debbie, shameless plugs. Do you got anything?
Well, I'm hoping Monday night we will be doing a review on Guardians of the Galaxy.
I'm thinking so. I'm seeing it this weekend. You're seeing it this weekend. I would assume Chris is probably seeing it right now.
Knowing him, probably.
So
I had thought about it because I thought, well, if it comes out, if they have a 3:00 showtime, I could probably go see it. Maybe take off work a little early. But then I seen that, it wasn't their first showing wasn't until 6. I was like, no, once I get home and get in my jammies, I don't leave the house. Home. Yeah, I'm home. So I was not about to get home, get comfy, and then go back out. If I thought I could get away with just going in my jammies, I probably would. But
people do that all the time anymore. I don't see what the problem is. You go to Walmart on any given time, and there's somebody in their pajamas up there.
I might run down to the gas station, but that's about it.
I was thinking of the employees, but sure, why not? Cam, Cam, shameless plugs. You got anything?
Yes. April 15th. New Cam and
April?
Focus coming out.
April
May
15th.
15th. Oh my
May
God.
15th.
I'm
Wow, you're a month behind.
way behind. Yes, May 15th. New Cam and Focus coming out. It is an analysis of The Babadook, my all-time favorite horror film.
Yes, I've been seeing some.
I have
promo
never
stuff
heard of
with
it, never seen it.
I haven't
It-
either.
It's an Australian horror film. It's so great. You kind of have to think outside the box whenever you view it because on surface level it looks kind of just like another, haunting, dark entity kind of movie. But if you go into it with if you go into it with the mind frame that the Babadook doesn't exist, that it's all in this woman's head, then the whole movie just opens up into this just awesome story about grief and mental illness, and it's such a great movie.
What's the where is it? Where can I watch it? Where is it streaming at right now?
I don't know where it's streaming. I have it on Blu-ray. I try not to stream films whenever if I can buy them, because I love that sense of ownership. So I'm not sure where it's streaming.
Okay, I'll find it. Let's see. We've got Fan Expo coming up in June. Myself and Dave Gramillion are gonna be there. Hopefully we're gonna be able to talk to James Arnold Taylor, Matt Lanter. So that'll be fun. We got to talk with them last year. Maybe again this year. 3 days, June 9th through 9th, 10th, and 11th. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come out and see us. Come out and say hi. I'll probably do another giveaway a Lego set again. It was a lot of fun last year. We're doing live streams and all kinds of fun stuff. Check out our YouTube page. We've got a lot of cool shorts up now. We've the Captain's Logs and Lightsabers have been doing a Today in Star Wars History series, and it's been a lot of fun, very interesting. And it's not just it's Star Wars 1977 through today. So there's a lot of the sequel and prequel stuff that's listed. I forgot to mention, on my viewing, I have not watched any of the prequels in a long time. I watched A New Hope, I watched Empire, and I watched Rogue One and Solo, but I haven't watched any of the prequels. It's very odd. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Check out our Facebook page, Geek News Now. Also check us out on Twitter and Twitch and all the fun, all Instagram. We're there too. Oh, I forgot. I put out a video on Instagram today. Go look at it. The answer is General Jan Dodonna. General Jan Dodonna is your answer. He was the first person in the original trilogy to use the phrase, "May the Force be with you." So there's your Star Wars trivia. I'll put another one of those out for next week's show. And other than that, y'all all have a wonderful rest of your Star Wars day. May the Force be with you all. See you all next week.